saying there's no pressure in this game for Simple or FaZe Clan, that's just wrong.
I think there's obviously an additional element of pressure because Maui, as my North American representative, you and Elige and Moses somewhere in the arena, I guess. Just you guys left.
That's it. That's all we've got. I mean, Elige making it this far with this FaZe Clan is what many people, including myself, wanted to see when he joined and donned the FaZe jersey. From moving from complexity to now joining a real championship contender, it was rocky for the first 4 or 5 months on FaZe Clan. Now we're seeing the potential here. Elige is still an immovable object, in the words of Thorin, and now when we are seeing him alongside a dynamic Opper, it feels like Elige is freed up a little bit more. Even though he's still the tip of the spear on so many different plays, he isn't that singular force that's trying to break FaZe into these rounds. So it's great to see Elige finally, once again, competing in the playoffs and in front of an American crowd.
Well, let's get a few words from Elige himself. It's him with James Banks.
Looking at you, you've come in looking individually sharp. Is your confidence very high right now?
I feel pretty good overall. Yeah, I feel like I'm making good decisions, putting as much work in as I can, and just going to keep trying to leveling up myself. I think that I can do better, I can always do better, and that's going to be the goal. Right now we're starting the quarterfinals and hoping to keep on improving as the tournament goes on.
And looking at this, you're facing Mongols today. It's a rematch, but what do you need to be careful of here?
Well, they're changing their veto now with what they wanted before. I guess they respect our Ancient a little bit more after that comeback. And I mean, anything can happen on the stage. I think that they might even feel a little bit more pressure. We might feel a little bit more pressure. Depends on how it starts off, but at least we're planning to come out swinging. Hopefully they're going to be max pressure on them. I mean, we're going to have pressure as well. That's just the nature of the game. Yeah. But it's all about who handles it better. And you know, they're a strong team. They have a lot of like sharp shooters. They can hit shots. They have good fundamentals, and we just have to come out stronger than them.
Anything you want to say to all the North American fans watching in the arena right now?
Get hyped, guys. We're about to bring a banger. It's going to be cinema, so get ready and phase up.
Dupree, I feel like you've been on your fair share of like home crowd stages, right? I imagine it's equal part excitement and nerves for Elige right now.
That was definitely, but for me, it's always been like when I went to my home crowd, yeah, sure, you had the expectation that you wanted to do, you know, in front of your family and all your fans, you wanted to do good, but it also just fueled you. Like when you go up on the stage and you're going up in that lift and you just hear like everyone's roaring for FaZe Clan and maybe even you because you're the last NA player, then I mean like it just does something to you. Like
what about the pressure? You never really performed with Astralis in Royal Arena. Is that like extra pressure?
Of course it's a pressure. I mean it's more like, let's say that FaZe Clan was a full NA team. I think that would be the more thing. Now he's like the standalone player in that team, but it's more difficult when you're like the home crowd. If you don't turn into something positive, then it will just be like a deficit for you. And I think that Elige, you know, he's confident, you know, he's tried it before, you know, he's a guy that's been around for a long time, you know what he's capable of. So I think he's just going to go in there, he's going to go in and enjoy it, and he's going to bring that fire hopefully onto the stage and to the rest of his teammates.
Have there been any notable changes in terms of how Elige has been approaching the game since Simple has actually entered the server?
Simple said himself that it feels like he's playing with a different guy now. A guy that's matured, a guy that's more calm in the server. It doesn't get as flustered. I'll say, from the eye test of looking at player cams, he's biting his nails less, okay? Right. I feel like he's a lot more centered in his approach day to day, which has translated to me in terms of the way that he's just kind of playing, and also being able to pivot on a dime from being a guy that's taking space to realizing, now I'm the Joker player. That's how a lot of pros like to call it, and he has to wait then for everybody else to activate. He's not just sending it stage, like he's slowing down a little bit. Like on complexity, he didn't know when to stop.
I mean, one thing we know for sure is that the Mongols is going to show up with a lot of firepower, so someone from FaZe Clan will have to answer back with firepower, and I think there's a couple of players who can do that consistently. That would be Elise, that would be Frozen. Those are the two who we know consistently can show up. The rest is a bit of a question mark. Kerrigan as an individual, we don't really rate him that highly. He's more like the motivator, the in-game leader. He's going to contribute in that department, but Simple is a question mark to me. Can he show up with firepower in order to match the Mongols? I would love to see it. Counter-Strike needs it, Maui, the viewers needs it, the viewership. Everyone would love it, but I want to see it before I believe it.
The storylines, they just continue to write themselves, because I was just reflecting upon, you know, Rain saying, hey, it's nice to turn up to a North American crowd, them actually be cheering for you, because remember what he had to face when he was in a major grand final in NA last time around, him and Kerrigan versus Cloud9, the Cinderella run. I just hope he's not getting PTSD here now.
I mean, of course you don't want to see the same fate befall FaZe, but for them to even be in a winning position on a map 3 of a grand final with this FaZe Clan lineup, I feel like is almost more miraculous than the Cloud9 comeback that we saw back then in Boston.
I'm rather like, if they actually make it to the grand final, that's where the PTSD is going to hit them, especially Kerrigan.
Jacob? You thinking long and hard? Did we unlock some PTSD in your brain?
No, I'm just thinking, the more I think about FaZe, I want them to win for the story. I want them to win for the crowd. I think it'll be a fantastic story as well, getting into the grand final, etc., etc. But the more we speak about them, the more I talk about them, it's like, sure, you made top 8 at a major. That is impressive. It's a step in the right direction. But you look at the lineup, you're playing with a stand-in. We don't know what it's going to look like after the summer break. You only made top 8. You're FaZe Clan. You're supposed to win trophies. You're supposed to be a stable top 4 team. It's like we're almost glazing a team for making top 8, which is the bare minimum for a team like FaZe. So as much as I would love to see them win, I can't glaze them before they give me something to glaze them about.
Okay, well, before we continue the glazing, apparently, according to Jacob, we do need to welcome the teams into the arena, but not before we head things to a quick break. When we are back, prepare your eardrums, ladies and gentlemen. It's FaZe and the Mongols here in Austin.
Hey folks, welcome to the Culture Clubhouse. We got some clip I think we have to watch. Let's get to it.
Ooh, Shanghai Major.
I predicted that already, Finn.
Bes, need ko umuwi sa amin. Dahil kasi yung lolo ko eh. Pwede ba akong umiram ng pera sa'yo para makabili ng plane ticket pa uwi sa probinsya? Kailangan ko kasing umuwi agad eh.
Naku, sorry Bes. Wala akong extra money ngayon.
It's pretty important round, some might say, no? But I wasn't nervous here. I think there was like 75% chance to win this round still. Oh, but honestly, this round is insane. Yeah, and this jump shot. It was completely quiet on TeamSpeak. No, he didn't even say he killed side, no?
You could just hear the crowd going wild.
Yeah, I remember there wasn't that much of a count between the two. But here, Magus thinks Rob's 1 HP, bro.
Oh my god.
1 HP. Not even close. But meanwhile, broke his biting his fingers off. Making a jump shot in a tight moment where if he doesn't hit the shot, he probably dies. We lose the round if he dies or gets spammed through the smoke. So people remember this round just because it's 12-10. If we lose the round, we out. But that round is, in my eyes, one of the highlights from the last few majors, and I think therefore it should be a high culture rating.
Would be probably way higher if you actually would have won the major, but
the impact it had and the arena, how loud it was, because I don't see what's happening. I just see the crowd goes really wild. So for culture rating, you don't get a more exciting clip in the most important round of a major. It's third map, it's 12-10, but I would give it 8 out of 10, just for the impact and how many people talked about the round. And I think people will still remember this round in 4 years.
It would get much higher, if you would have won.
That would be a 10 out of 10. If you won that in overtime, that would be 10 out of 10 as one of the most memorable moments of the major.
I think 8 is pretty fair. So what, moving to the individual brilliance, I would go like 7. 7 for me is...
I think it makes sense with 7. I think Rain hit some good shots, and Rob's deciding at what moment he wants to jump. He jumps after Rain gets the kill, so he's playing off his teammate, tries to get the second. So yeah, I think 7 makes sense. So more culture impact than individually performance.
This was Culture Clubhouse.
Checkmate.
That is a quick one tap to Zontix. Nice. Jumping, no scope.
Who you want to win today?
Mongols!
FaZe! Let's go Mongols!
Mongols!
910! Yeah!
Mongols!
FaZe up!
Mongols, baby! Woo!
Simple! Mongols!
FaZe up! Go Kerrigan!
Wee-woo! Wee-woo!
I don't give a shit about FaZe! I love you, Elise!
Moody center beckons.
I'm so happy that I'm gonna play on stage in front of United States people.
Simple gets out with a double kill, rip-roaring and ready to go!
Yeah, I always think about what should I do for my team.
Senzu back at it. Beautiful stuff out of the Mongols. Ace demanded of him. Shot! That's offside! FaZe have a date with playoffs.
Mongols, unfortunately, shattered like glass. The best test that you could ask for the Mongols.
Believe your eyes, Austin. You have your hero.
Hello, Austin!
I knew that's what you all came here for today. It's what it smells like in here. It smells like FaZe Clan in here, and that's a good smell, I think, if you're a FaZe Clan fan.
We hope. But we would be amiss if we didn't say something about the Mongols also have the hope of a nation on their shoulders, and I think they've always been on the brink, and I've seen they have a couple of fans as well, so hopefully they get a warm welcome too.
Hopefully. Now, if you are just watching for the first time, if you have just joined us, this is a rematch from just 6 days ago where FaZe did, in fact, get the best of the Mongols. However, it doesn't stop there, because now they do have this rematch in the bracket.
They do, and for FaZe, obviously, the question is, will they be activated enough in a playoffs, with a FaZe playoffs form, with someone called Simple on the lineup?
Wow. Yep, Simple, almost at home, I guess we would say. Hey, North America, do I got your attention? All right, we're gonna go for something here. Can we do something from the top ropes? Boom, boom, clap. Keep going, why'd you stop? Oh, it was me. All right, well, with that said, let's keep this quarterfinal going underway. FaZe.
The last American in the home major. This lone cowboy stands with a reborn GOAT at his side. Team in search of a breakthrough event, and what grander stage than the major?
With the weight of a nation on their shoulders, FaZe kind of truly arrived here in the arena. The crowd ready to blow the absolute roof off. Talk about a reception, but on the other side of things for the Mongols, one of the first arenas I've ever heard these guys get booed in, Jason.
I mean, what a test for the Mongols. You want to talk about stage struggles. Now all of a sudden you come into what's going to be a hostile crowd. The support for Simple, more importantly, support for Elige inside of this arena as the last remaining North American player. How does Mongols even think they can handle this?
As soon as he's just on camera, right, the crowd erupts. Imagine if he makes an insane play, a highlight moment, a graffiti moment, Maui, me, I think this arena is going to explode.
Oh, they're going to blow the roof off of this building. If we get some screen-shattering flicks from Simple, if we've got a Kerrigan masterclass in calling, you know that the fans are going to let them hear it. And man, I'm going to be honest, Mazinho in that interview before this one, I couldn't believe it. He thought he was going to have some fans. They thought they were going to get something. I'm sorry, this is FaZe's building today.
He might have already been humbled on the walkout here, Jason.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a mental reception. And I mean, you can understand why. Obviously, the last representative in Elige, but more than anything, it's the special kind of performance and the special run that Simple has been on. This is his first step into these playoffs on a path that can be an absolutely legendary conclusion to this story. For him to come in after being so long out of the competitive action and deliver the way he has for FaZe, this is something very unique that we don't get often in Counter-Strike.
I don't know whether it's just because we're standing in front of the FaZe booth. I don't know whether it's just because I'm surrounded by 2 North Americans. I'm in a sea of North American fans.
You feel it too, don't you?
I feel something special in here.
You can start the chant,
I feel
Freya.
the magic.
This is what patriotism feels like, Freya. We didn't choose to be born here, but we have to represent when we can, okay?
This is just incredible scenes. And for Kerrigan, I mean, Jacob put it perfectly. He's just loved in every single arena around the globe. He is going to be a showman tonight. What do you think they're going to be showing? We've obviously talked a lot about that first map of Anubis. The second map of Anubis. We're going to be starting on Mirage, though. What are FaZe going to be showing here?
I'm going to be completely honest. FaZe have not looked hot on Mirage. When they were playing at Dallas, you could see the disconnect between Simple and Skulls. However, we've got Rain now. He's adopted the cowboy mentality. We see him walking down in the hat. I am sure that he's going to be picking up the slack when it comes to establishing crossfires and letting Simple know, hey, someone could walk out ramp.
Yeah, I think I've never really seen Elige get that excited about like an opening game plan that they have the way he was in his own interview. He seemed really pumped to be like, we're bringing the heat, we're bringing the fire really quickly in this round. I think they want this crowd rowdy. I think they want them on their feet really early in this match. I think they want all that pressure to fall squarely on the shoulders of the Mongols, who have not yet shown they know how to handle it.
You've had some experience with Elige on a team who shall not be named in this arena, apparently.
Sure.
What was the keys to getting him going and kind of getting him in the zone where we know Elige can become a stone-cold killer?
I think he likes to be comfortable within the game plan. He likes to know what's happening early on.
Oh, and he likes this crowd too,
And he
Jason.
loves this crowd.
Loves this crowd.
You get him comfortable, you get him feeling like he knows what's coming, what kind of game plan you're coming in with, and then he can kind of settle into things, be patient with his own plays. And I swear to God, when this crowd pops off at an Elige clutch, it's going to get 10 times worse.
They've already popped off.
That's what I'm talking about!
This is something special. The question that it begs, though, how on earth are the Mongols going to handle this? When you're talking about a team of 5 excellent individuals on the other side of things and an arena of 10,000 chanting against you, how do you make sure you don't crumble under the pressure?
That's where the vets, that's where the older guard has to step up. People like Techno, people like Blitz, where they can calm the nerves of the younger people that are on the team. Senzu, he's been difficult to activate in these kind of arena moments. He hasn't always had the best showings, but if someone can just lay the groundwork for him, if Blitz, if Techno, if they can inspire some hope, then Senzu will follow, Mazinho will follow, and you'll obviously need 9-10. The sniper that's going to go toe-to-toe with Simple, he needs to have some sort of impact here, because they need to quiet these guys down. They need to quiet this moody center down.
I'm wondering where the arena aura leaves the odds lying as Kerrigan's already facing up before we get in this game. I wouldn't be surprised to see them, tipping in the scales of FaZe. I think the crowd would definitely agree with them. Of course, completely unbiased as well, Jason.
Yeah, obviously, always unbiased entirely. And then Kerrigan's going to get these guys on their feet, and that's the big difficulty when you talk about trying to ignite the guys on the Mongols. You're not going to keep this crowd long. There's too many damn good players on this FaZe team for them not to create a moment to erupt this arena.
Gentlemen, I think it is time. The crowd have waited long enough. Let's kick it off. FaZe versus the Mongols.
Oh my goodness, you guys are amazing. Off
Austin, Texas, baby. This is Counter-Strike commentary Christmas. FaZe, Simple, big stage, American in the playoffs of the major on home soil. It all comes together for an exciting concoction. We have young versus old, experience versus potential. And Austin, you know, entertainment is a guarantee. What a top 5 team of the season, and it's not who you would expect. FaZe with the Hail Mary pickup, awakening the Undertaker with the aim to win the whole damn thing. It starts on Mirage.
Direct into A. Simple, Rain on the site. Heavy lean, 2 window, Carrigan ready to rotate. Flashes for Carrigan at the ready. They're expecting this.
Good read of the situation, Simple. Maybe a distraction or 2. But Joel Barrett's and it's a whole lovely 1-on-3, nothing for 9-10. The multi-kill. Perfect defense, perfect read. They're in the right places, and so is the bullet from Carrigan.
Simple hasn't been blessed with this feeling. A playoff in a major in 952 days. The last time he was the villain, this time he wants to be the hero. And what a way to kick things off.
Lovely follow-up as well. Frozen arriving just in time. Simple, though, the whole point of his position there is to get that initial first. Never mind that, he gets 2.
Bomb doesn't go down, we know what that means. Slow start for the Mongols, not what they'd be hoping for. Aggression from FaZe, Blitz push back early. But would you listen to that? This is the home team. The FaZe show's in town. And this is the toughest task for the Mongols all season. 9 Tier 1 events, 7 playoffs.
That's usually where the story ends.
Yeah, only 4 wins in those playoff games. They're exploding onto Carrigan, he's on his own.
He is on his own, and now he needs more than that. Does find Mazinho, the bomb unlikely to go down. Techno down as well to Carrigan's FAMAS, and it's a clean sweep.
Casual, flawless, shrugging off the eco. Let's get down to business, shall we? Rifles out. Top cat smoke, window lands. Heavy lean towards A on the bonus.
Yeah,
searching
check
A
this
ramp.
out. Rain and Elige are immediately going to go looking for answers. Facilitated by Simple. Deep smoke, suspicious.
Mazinho's just going to call that out. Senzu gets island box, Blitz in through the underpass. Second wave of U-tilt. Con and window, replenished, working up Cat, B split on the table, Carrigan and Frozen.
Yeah, they're going to be tested here, and the nade doesn't look bad. Bit of chip damage onto Senzu, gets across. Pressure amplified now onto Carrigan's position, and Frozen, the support network, not far away. Carrigan, he's feeling the scrutiny now, the rotation's on its way, but Senzu delivers double entry into the site, and that is surely it. One chip in from Elige. But the site taken, first gun round, flying success.
That's what you need for the Mongols if you are looking to win this matchup right now. It's Senzu in form. Those playoffs matches we talk about, the arenas that they get into, he disappears. This team, they're a massive underdog. They're against a hostile crowd. But they play comprehensive Counter-Strike and they hit hard. Mazinho takes away Rain, wipes the board, and the bonus round dealt with. FaZe can hedge back in. Now for a couple of rifles, SMGs again, so they can contest for this, but this is a good start now for the Mongols. Really good shooting for Senzu. Carrigan just steps out to his demise, and we all saw him breaking records against G2. extremely rifle-heavy purchase. Take a look at this. One piece of utility right now for FaZe.
Does that mean they have to fight?
You're either going to give up the space, play very late, or get stuck into Jules early. You might want to try and deal with the lurking piece. You know Mazinho's on his own, and they're pushing him now.
They want him. They're taking the fight, and the lead gets the job done.
Info on 2. Do Mongols react immediately? Looks like they're sitting back, still going to play out this mid-round, not just snapping into a B push, and understandably so. Rain has taken so much space. This is all about the extremities.
Yeah, seriously, a CT aggress constant from FaZe.
They box them in right now. Going to have to reroute, going to have to allow that clock to tick on down. Still, the util advantage lies with them, but how are they able to edge back in? Bomb heading back towards A. 2 up through connector. Over a minute left on the clock, but when the environment is like this, the rounds play awfully quick.
If Mongols can rectify a 4v5 disadvantage so early into this, that would be a building block to confidence up against FaZe. Blitz, spotted out, boosted into that window, and has Frozen down to 38. They've got time to work with. Simple to be tested, especially now Frozen's finished off. They start to accelerate. Simple with a decision to make. Fight or flight, stays tucked. It's Elige, removes Techno, keeps that man advantage, but for how long? 9-10 puts him down. They still need this finish, and they can't seem to get past Carrigan. 2 trying to enter the A site. They can't get past the M4, and 9-10 tail between his legs.
Thinking of the save, still hanging around for this. Rain's going to come up through ramp. Simple's going to start perching out and just going to get shot in the side of the head here. 9-10 any second. There he is. Simple closes it down and secures the third. That's a round where they come in rifle heavy, backing their individuals. And you can understand why. This is the most entertaining team in Counter-Strike history. And the last-ditch attempt to have a competitive major after an unsuccessful season. Simple already finding impact.
This was the Carrigan kills we missed. Pushes through the jungle smoke. Oh, Blitz. Not going to be happy with his spray there.
Oh, these nerves are going to be higher for the Mongols. You're going up against the hometown. Couple of MAC-10s. We'll make it 1 at Tech-9. And rifles, again, the util's there. Worried about mid-aggression. Senzu. Supported by 2. Extremities again. This time, Mazinho going through ramp. Techno through the underpass. Smokes start to fade, they get their space. Again, another heavy A lean. Frozen the unknown piece, traditionally the short player. Sandwich over towards A if it is a split. What's the finish going to be? 1:15 left on the clock.
He actually has a look on that break and does get spotted. Techno, position noted. Mid heavily occupied.
Mantan can molly this off and they can quickly pipe up through connector into this A split. Blitz has got util ready, flashes over the top of Con and they go.
Here they come. Carrigan actually elects to play forward of this, so he will get a little bit of an opportunity. Very small window of opportunity, but he does! Oh! Pops the head off, adjusting to the swing of Blitz. Beautiful. Stunning individual sequence out of Carrigan. He's at the top of the tables right now and a smile on his face. Always a showman is Carrigan.
This is what this team gets out of bed for.
That's what's so crazy, Chad. The whole team collectively, vehemently believe that there is something changing in the playoffs. And they regularly prove it too.
Well, the question right now is why not? You win this, Pain up next. Very obtainable FaZe looking for back-to-back-to-back major finals.
Back-to-back-to-back, yeah. Once they get to the playoffs, there's a reason they're feared. Can Mongols find their stage legs under those Friday night lights? Rounds like these are typically a gimme, but on the big stage, comms can get messy. If a Deagle headshot's hit, Techno has a go, doesn't connect.
Confident stuff. Staunch, aggressive, in your face, just against these Deagles. They're going to mop them up now. 2 tumble, 3 to find. Oh! There's a shot from Blitz. Is that a way back in? Frozen has to dip off. Doesn't have the support necessary right now. Need another one of those to start considering this a round win, and then even in a 3v3, it's very unlikely.
Yeah, I mean, the rifle will be equipped. I think it's retrievable. Oh, and you know what?
been
9-10, yeah, he could actually have a pot shot here. Simple's been caught out. Sitting in the open, and 9-10 connects.
Blitz has got that AK now.
Frozen has stuck around to try and apply pressure to Blitz's position. Senzu hides just underneath. Side by side, a jump scare for Bose, but Frozen's not looking, and the AK, it's another one equipped.
30 seconds, you have to find the finish. You need to do this as a team.
You know Karrigan's alive.
You know kills are still available.
Karrigan typically lingers on B. And with 20 seconds left, that bomb is alone. Where is the support?
Need this kill.
Ray's got his back turn. 9-10 pulls the trigger, but the bomb
win the round.
The bomb is heading into Karrigan in a 1v3. Now they know. Put him on notice. He's got his knife out, and Mongols pull it off.
Snatching that away.
How has that gone wrong?
Yeah, the crowd doesn't like the way that one tastes, but that's a massive round.
Holy!
Huge Deagle frags. This was a 3v5 against an eco. This is just some upgraded pistols and some great shooting.
Wow.
The timing working against Frozen right here. Tear in the crowd. He's swinging on a dime, but just getting deleted, and that is a positive sign for the Mongols.
That's
you need
bananas.
to see these individuals hitting shots exactly like that, and you've humbled the finances of FaZe.
They were so split up.
Well, right now for Mongols, this is an opportunity to take a breath. You don't really know what the buy's going to look like, but once you identify there's no utility being lobbed back and you find out it's pistols, you can make this a one-round game. Oh, shooting the nades right now, the signature wiggle of Simple.
Yeah, it's just a byproduct. Those swish, simple flicks. Golf clap for his receive of the smoke. Elige plays ahead of it, hoping catch Blitz out on his crawl.
Well, this is where you'd say FaZe have the experience in terms of being able to
not easy.
the crowd and use it to their advantage. On a lighter buy like this, you'd hope that the Mongols can waltz on by, and Blitz continue to find impact now.
All eyes are going to be on Senzu in this one as well. Want to see his individual form continue after being such a demon in that group stage.
Yeah, well, we're always going to return to the conversation for the Mongols. Is it now or never? Right?
Yeah.
Is it a question of a have and a have, but if or when? And now would be the perfect time. Karrigan, position now noted, can get the AK, but should be traded. Should be traded.
Oh, Simple, the collateral damage. Okay, Karrigan, he makes good on it at least. Finds himself another one, a couple of casualties, but Mongols do weather the Deagle storm. 4 kills from Blitz, the captain that picked up that nice Deagle headshot that started the House of Cards tumbling down.
See, FaZe could have hedged into the previous round with an investment, but they decided to keep it quite light on. Now they're able to get out all their goods. M4s are plenty.
Quick reminder, one of our sponsors, get up to $1,000 in bonus credits when your first deposit on Underdog when using the code BLAST.
Simple's got out his AWP and so does 9-10. So we're straight into the play. Could this be a difference maker? One-round game. Heavy towards A. Look at the radar. Everybody ready to pop in. And all of FaZe are searching middle. Out of position.
Completely. This is the call. This is the perfect call. Blitz is accelerated into the A site with that X-Sec, and there's nobody home. Unless you catch a crazy spam through the smoke, Rain has. You might not even go for it.
No nades for breaks. 4v4, there's a hit on Karrigan.
Nade to the face. Simple might try a pot shot through the smoke, but it's going to connect, and Elige forced away. Great double incendiary or Molotov towards the jungle position. A flash and a Hail Mary from Frozen. Techno's tucked. Elige is gone. Casualties racked up, and Simple and Karrigan forced to save. Mongols have tied up this game.
Okay. They need to hold on to these guns. Lost bonus starting to build now for the CT side. 2,400 going into the next. But this has been a comprehensive set of rounds for the Mongols now that we've gotten into the head-to-head on these rifles. Beautiful work there, great call, change of pace, very poppy, in your face. They've been defaulting, right? We're going into A splits, B splits, very heavy mid, top cap, window smoke. This time, straight in towards A. I love that call out of Blitz there. And now we're going to find out if those losses are learnings. And so far, so good. You're going toe-to-toe with FaZe. You're holding your own on your map choice. You're even hitting a couple of nice shots. The aim is never in question. It's if you've got those stage legs. I've already resurrected the Undertaker. What else do you need? Tactical timeout called, this one by FaZe. Neo, legend of the game, on the mic. What words of wisdom can he offer up? They don't go for any investments right now with the save down 4 and the AWP. They can buy again into the next. But this is the moment where Simple needs to insert himself into the round. Or Carrigan. Also been having an impact in the early stages. 9 kills so far. Oldest player in the major remaining right now, 35 years of age.
Oh yeah, and then you got the youngest. Still kicking in Mongols.
Back to that default spread.
Wait, Carrigan is going for a bit of an all-in here. Just goes for answers and finds a little bit of a balaclava sticking out. It was Senzu on that headshot.
Well, if there's one, you'd expect more, but Carrigan's done it on his own. So this could force Mazinho and Techno to start looking into A, expecting it to be relatively clear, but the fact that they've hit the brakes, rerouting now, not getting ahead of themselves. They are going to execute back into A, and this is where the stack resides. Simple's AWP, Rain, and Frozen. Carrigan can chip in from stairs and connect it quite quickly.
Frozen's 5-7 is terrifying. Up close, he can win rounds alone with a 5-7 from under that dark position.
Here comes the execute.
He pushes forward. Rain's 5-7 does confirm Palace is occupied. Now ramp to be tested, and Simple can't hit it. Whistles one pass, peeks into his rival AWPer. 9-10, the best of the bunch. AWP gone, maybe Carrigan's rifle will arrive. They're spamming away, and there it is. Carrigan does put his name in the feed onto 9-10. Techno trying to advance. Punishable reload. Rain goes looking. That sound cue betrays. Frozen again. This 5-7 now reveals itself. A flash is good. Blitz isn't blind. And now it's going to be comfortable for Senzu. Up and about 5 for the Mongols.
That's the type of Counter-Strike I was expecting coming into today's matchup. Very trade-heavy, in-your-face CS. So a threatening save on those guns with some light investments around it. But again, lost bonus comes into play. They will be able to get it to buy once more. Simple hits that first shot, could be a completely different story. But 9-10, he punishes.
Oh.
Taking the lead now. How many more rounds on this T side are the Mongols able to accrue? Nine-10 going for a pick on B. Carrigan has to be careful with his jump spots. Hold it off for now.
This looks punishable. It's not an easy shot if 9-10 does go forward.
Smoked off Cena now, forcing out the util. Blitz in through underpass. Senzu's been out towards the top mid box, so now they can go for this second wave again. Window smoke, deep con also available. Blocked by the CTs. 50 seconds left. Lining up a perfect molly in towards that vent room. Flushes anybody out and rerouting again. It's right now in his element. If they execute in towards A, it's Frozen the unknown piece once more. Rain will have to bait for him, or at least flash him forward for this fight.
He has a smoke if they molly. Readies himself. Techno sweeps through. Good find from Techno. Sure, traded by Rain. They got 25 to get that bomb in. Senzu feeling the pressure now. He's lost him, Zinho. Blitz Linkers mid, catching this rotation, a double flank onto Carrigan Rain, but maybe he doesn't not ready for Simple. Spots his barrel, ready for it, hits the shot, a quick one. Not bad from Simple. They're closing the gap. 9-10's missed his shot, gets put down. Carrigan retakes. Up for debate. In the 3-on-3 phase, tie us up 5-5.
There's the ambulance, pulled up in the building. We're going to tie things up as...
See this one from his POV, bro. Oi!
Yeah, Blitz was licking his lips right there, thought he had the round winner. He allowed them to surge onto that site, and Mara, off the back of that loss, does call a tactical timeout. 5 rounds, T-half, Mirage, you're going to be happy with that. Crowd support rallying now.
Yeah, but up against Mongols, who, as we said on the way in, one of these two teams has been a consistent top 5 this season. And it ain't FaZe Clan.
Yeah, you can't argue with the numbers. 7 out of 9 playoffs versus 4 out of 9.
You let that guy in there.
Quick tech issue. Senzu has to sort out his PC. So we'll keep all the information regarding what's going on in game to an absolute minimum until we get back underway. Now definitely keeping Austin weird.
The world is watching. Some people way past their bedtime, but wanted to see this clash of Titans and the Olympians face the old gods. There's a reason there isn't a single visible seat. That's because everyone is here to witness this final quarterfinal live from the Moody Center, Austin, Texas. If you're not here, what are you doing?
Senzu back in the server. And we're ready to get things underway. Lige, the only American. Crowd on his side, but here we go. This was off the back of a tactical timeout. Then they had the tech to sit through. So what does Mara want them to open with? 9-10 using the spawn over towards ramp on his teammate's head, looking for a pick. Nothing off it up. Frozen again. They continue to play him over towards A. And the fact that FaZe have only played this map once with Simple and Rain in the roster just allows Karrigan to have a lot of flexibility with his calling, with these setups, with his read of the play. Bomb still down towards the back of the B apartment, so no finish for some time. Slowly working through this map control, and FaZe are more than happy to give it over. Ryan Mongols to walk in through top mid, underpass. And again, the second wave. They've been able to get away with this time and time again. FaZe are happy to block, happy to allow their individuals to go for multi-kills as they push through.
You can see the game plan there from Elige. He smokes in front, throws out the HE. Karrigan gonna catch Senzu progressing. Now in the meantime, there has been a boost. Maybe Elige is responsible for that. He's playing it from the most passive of angles, just ensuring he can't slip into his teammates. Gathering to test this line, held by Simple. The Lige, oh, he wasn't ready. Blitz gives him a jump scare. No immediate movements. Actually, yes, Simple's turned, draws his attention away from the Apps walk. This is the gap, and they're already passing it. Oh no, he's missed it. An opportunity, and he squandered it twice. Can't hit the third. Mazinho just spins around to open up the round and close down the site.
Have to save this one. It's going to be 6 now for Mongols.
Wow, that frag from Blitz really disrupted the setup.
Yeah, you can see Simple just absolutely off kilter there. The first one short, gets the surprise as he leers back in. The second one you think he has to get if there's any chance within that round win. So Simple dropping the ball in that one.
Looking mortal.
Yeah, well, who would have thought it? 2 years off.
Yeah, how many days? 900?
Since his last major playoff, yeah. I was back in Rio, the villain against Furia. We all know how that one ended. On the hunt right now. If they can rip these away, it's 2,400 loss bonus into the next. This will mean an absolute bucket load to Mongols as far as what investment they're going up against. Mazinho undercleared, but the trade is there. Well done from 9-10. Frozen loses his rifle as well. So they lost absolutely everything there.
Wow, they could actually leave this first half of this quarterfinal with a lead on the attacking side.
Yeah, we're going to be talking MP9s and Famuses, and right now it's looking very Famus heavy.
Karrigan is way at the top of the scoreboard right now for their first half.
And he's been doing a great job finding that resistance. Here it is from Simple's POV. The first, the mollies come in, the pathing's there, backs turn, missed shots, sight lost. Can they scrap together anything before we head into that halftime break?
That signature Simple shake, you can see it's full body, not just in game. Okay, that's a lot of early territory gained by Elige.
Now, they did this to Mazinho earlier in the piece. And he's actually sat back, allowing them to take the space. Does Elige hang around, or does he need to hedge over and help his teammates elsewhere?
Yeah, 9-10, it does look like he's on the warpath here.
Oh, knows they can't have an AWP on the other side.
Shot connects, and actually, yeah, Mazinho does go down. That was a FAMAS versus an AK. Elige, that's a massive scalp. Rosen, evasive maneuvers. Position noted by the spread of the flame.
Wouldn't be the first 4v5 Mongols convert.
You're
How do we
right.
get back into this one?
First major, 7 years returning to the American shores. Boston feels like a lifetime ago.
It's a tough angle for Simple here.
Might catch them off guard on their progressions. Yeah, Senzu just walk in, good find, Simple down. It's Carrigan under so much scrutiny, but throws and hits the shot. 9-10 last. A USP can finish it all. FaZe to tie up this half, dead even. 6-6 on the half. This quarterfinal has only just begun. First map, Mongols electing to take it to Mirage in this quarterfinal. We are live from the Moody Center. Austin, are you with us? Just the first map, Mongols, no pistols, 6 rounds on their T side though. They're looking stable. They're looking like they are going to make FaZe sweat, make FaZe work if they want to see the semifinals tomorrow.
Tough for the youngest team in the playoffs, hostile crowd, and they've struggled in these environments all season long. Blitz to set the tone on this, straight up the guts.
His pistols are deadly. This guy's got aim. And he hasn't been able to put it on display. Nice tap and ouch! Instant goosh there, long range blocks. Look at them, both of them with their bell rung. Senzu and 910 limping back into the site.
Bomb rerouting right now. Carrigan calling the troops back. Oh, he's actually left the bomb in spawn, so just making sure there's no aggressions elsewhere as jewels are being taken all over the shop. Simple scoops that up. No util for the finish. Site actually fortified. Senzu from Ticket. Mazinho going to tuck in. 9-10, not too far away from jungle.
Yeah, there is a way this goes wrong in the 4-on-4 despite those 2 headshots being hit.
2 through Palace, 2 through ramp.
This is where Mazinho really needs one minimum. Look at that HP on that CT player. And no, they're not looking at him. He finds Carrigan, an immediate response from Simple. Gets that trade. Important find from Senzu, catches the aggressors. Oh, messy. Rain couldn't finish it. Both of them got dinked and both of them leave with a double kill. 910 and Senzu get Mongols the split pistols on Mirage.
And add another 4v5 disadvantage that they're able to claw back there. Blitz goes down early, he gets a lot of information, but that's some beautiful shots being hit. Mazinho pokes out, grabs one, but these two just absolutely dismantling at range, and there's some impact as you see them getting fired up. Representing a region, a nation, all of Mongolia right now will be tuning into this one. The eco. Nade towards connector, doesn't find its target.
Yeah, one of the most represented regions now. In the roster of 5.
Let's see if they can keep all 5 alive. That's the stable start that they need up against FaZe.
Well, it started fantastically. Simple doing cartwheels with his Desert Eagle. Blitz the one to make him do some gymnastics involuntarily. And just the one consolation frag out of the Deagle of Rain. Mongols flowing nicely here. Not all 5 alive, but you'll take 4. Or 3.
Let's see if it's 2.
Certainly could be. But I like this move. Oh, Mazinho, yeah, you gave him a chance. Gets spotted out, swings on in for another Hail Mary. Not counting my chickens too early, but Mongols, this is doing some convincing.
Oh, this is it, right? The fact that they're able to stabilize on this stage and be competitive. There's concerns of a blowout. Carrigan's opted in with a MAC-10. Does that tell us something direct, something pacey, something poppy? Well, as they head over towards B, it feels so. Techno, the supported piece of this team, might be tested early. Under scrutiny. Senzu on social. Came to his side, but right now might need to do so in the server from Cat. Techno, they're coming your way.
Yeah, he needs help. Eyes on the floor, tracking Carrigan, draws blood. Elige will trade, but here comes Senzu into the side, ready for the swing, and Elige not ready. Headshot provided, double kill out of Senzu. Perfect defense. They come and knock in and get sent back to spawn with nothing.
Techno does his job there, delays them, gets a kill, slows them for that rotation to get in, and then the teammate, they just absolutely maul. Mongols with a 3-round lead. FaZe not getting the bomb down. Lost bonus, sure it's in play, but it feels like you have to take a partial. Right now, Mongols, they are looking like the team that we see within the group stages.
They are. There's no difference right now.
They're hitting shots, they're playing aggressive, they're not backing down.
They used to completely, I mean, it was a magic trick in itself. They would morph and change into a team we couldn't recognize.
And what a contrast. You go back just a couple of weeks in Dallas, they're in the arena, they're the fan favorites. People are chanting their name. You come into this one, you're up against Elige in the FaZe jersey with Simple. And it's a whole different kettle of fish.
Careful, you got to be careful when you say his name, otherwise we can't hear ourselves for a moment.
Who?
Elige?
Well, they're going to need that support now. FaZe on the partial. Off the tack. Watch the call. Tech9's Deagles. Cash of smokes being left for the APs for Rain. Top cat lands. Simple, a stray bullet. Just applies presence. 9-10 ticket. Mazinho up close on the balcony. Senzu and Blitz dealing with middle. Techno on B again. Deep block smoke. keep them at bay for a moment's time to allow that rotation, even peppering through in case they want to pop. And they give up their position behind it. Look at that, Techno's the one lobbing out harassment.
Wow.
Nice nade. Some damage done there onto Frozen.
It is telling that he's pushed up though. Will he back away?
It's all about Rain's utility. How much of a rotation will that draw? Does Senzu stick with Techno on the site? Likely to see Blitz leave and help the A site. But it's all going to be these B defenders. Techno and Senzu grouped up. Here's the fake. Perfect block.
Oh, it couldn't be better.
They have to come through.
It couldn't be better.
Senzu's rotating.
Techno, he's not buying it, but a bullet between his eyes puts him down, accelerating into the site. Senzu, the next man, the next port of call, just misses his window of opportunity. A couple of taps to Karrigan, but he's still kicking. Blitz will progress. Nice distraction. Blitz removes Simple. Sidelined another. Karrigan important. Gets his. 3 on the side. Make it 2. Senzu sticking around and just knocking them down. Piece by piece, but Frozen stubborn. Hits the Deagle headshot. Clock ticking in their favor. Spots out 9-10. Orp on his back, and it's only Frozen. He can't touch him.
Oh, Senzu and 9-10 right now are delivering. Blitz as well.
There's a couple of fans in here.
Couple of brave faces.
Well, especially when you consider that they may have witnessed playoff failings of Mongols time after time. To be witnessing Mongols find their stage legs at the culmination of the season. Analysts, pundits, fans alike have been begging to see that Senzu group stage form in the playoffs. He stands at the top of the tables alongside Blitz and 9-10.
Oh, that was a partial. It was a threatening round. The bomb went down, but still nothing for this T side of Karrigan just yet. His team is now into the full buy. Simple with the AWP out. Looking for the elevation. Can't find what he's looking for. Blitz has to be very careful. The more shots he pipes through, that opening could be punished. He's very low now. We'll have to back off. Quite a bit of util damage will take him down. 9-10's AWP starting on Cat. Configured now for an A split. Karrigan with the bomb towards ramp, Frozen alongside. Window now blocked. Cat will have to follow. They've done deep con. That's to facilitate Elige now to work through, get the key real estate. Senzu is the unknown piece on A. Blitz is low, and because of that, he's also gambled with this site stack. They have 3 players to deal with this.
I feel like Simple's going to be responsible for just to hold 9-10. Might get AWP's clash here as they start their progression. Simple, 2 mines, realizes he has to stay locked on. 9-10 removes him. And that Senzu reveals his position. FaZe, empty hands. It's just Karrigan, dead man walking. Mazinho makes it so. And Rain, too little time. And held by the AWP. 9-10, impact from the short side.
This is a flawless CT side so far. 5 consecutive rounds, 2 of them being rifles. So taking care of business are the young guns, the Mongols, and I think Blitz getting put low on HP from window actually helped them late in the piece. He goes over towards A, he hides, and he's not even needed. But Pip did the post. Simple again goes down to 9-10. And they're storming away with this one. On their phones, stunned.
The contrast.
Starting to get quiet out there as the reality of this setting in. Couple of rifles. Have max loss bonus. They really need a plan, and they're trying to punish Techno again. He didn't pass it last time round.
Look at Karrigan go, just Tech 9 in hand. Senzu, though, is ready. The flashes are good layering. Tucks in to get right. There's Techno, though. There's the defense once more. Rain, back of the head for 1, but Techno this time passes the test. A+. Goes down to Frozen at the same time. Blitz was caught by the Simple Deeg, so maybe there's more to this round after all. 9-10's position is noted. Simple will punch in the code. Frozen not looking. Mazinho gets him. Pure, perfect play. And Frozen completely overlooked him.
Getting flatline right now. As touched upon, FaZe have only played this map once with Simple and Rain. Obviously, Dallas, that skull standing in, that doesn't count. The officials you're seeing with this roster are at the major and only at the major. And this Hail Mary, this last-ditch attempt to be competitive at the major has gotten you this far. But going up against any team on this side of the bracket, you have the pedigree. You have the class. Right now, you don't have the rounds.
This is such an incredible haul from Mongols already. The question is whether they get into their heads right now at the finish line of the first map.
Anubis up next. That's going to be a really tough map for them. They were blown out in the match that FaZe won 2-0 to book them this spot. They changed it up in the veto. They didn't go into Ancient, they went into Mirage. That'll be our third and decider if we need it. But if you're Mongols, you must have been expecting that Anubis pick to come through. How prepped and ready are you? And take a look at the change for the final round of play, potentially on this CT side. Double AWP, Senzu, 9-10, bring them out.
Oof.
So they're going to be the winning recipe or the way to let FaZe back in. Hefty financial decision being made right now. Sure, it's leftover cash to work with for a follow-up round, but this could be a slippery slope.
This could be a perfect second half. One round is all they need. Elige, knife out through a smoke. Blitz is perfectly positioned to disrupt this walk if he dares. And now he's been spotted. Good find. Simple saves Elige's hide. Pushing forward, another one on his scope. Senzu brought down. Simple. His impact reverberates. FaZe with a two-man advantage. Can they really let this one slip? Elige doesn't think so. Removes Mzinho and wide open now. Techno goes down to the flame from the grave. Karrigan takes one with him. And 9-10 peeks in and Simple finishes it off with a quick flick.
21 MVP medals, 3-time world #1, major MVP, major winner. He doesn't want to be off the stage quick. Sure, this is late in the piece. It's your first T-side rounds, but a comeback has to start somewhere.
They break their silence in the last possible moment.
Is that just a consolation round? Is that just a cosmetic round? Is that just something that you can throw in the highlight reels? Well, timeout call for Mongols. One left in the chamber for Mara to call down the stretch. And that stretch can get real shaky if you lose this next one. You're already down to Techno on an MP9. 9-10 gets back out the AWP. Rifles for the rest, util their kit in play. But you lose this, 1900 loss. You will have to take the eco. At that point, FaZe can start whirring back into action. It's not over till it's over. Into the window from Elige. And away we go. Is this one going to have pace behind it?
Oof, Rain certainly thinks so. He's already getting a lot of ground.
9-10's in con right now.
Backing his aim, isn't he? So many possibilities of that first fight. He stays active.
He's in trouble.
They're ready for these engagements. Supported by that 9-10. Up close and personal sniper. Uncomfortable now, covered by Blitz. Oh, he's hit the shot somehow. Oh, he didn't try to trim his fingernails, tried to trim his toes. How did that not get the kill? Nice catch. What? 3 kills in simultaneous fashion. Mongols disappear. Frozen fumbles. Mzinho. He was supposed to be a dead man in Frozen sights, now lives on.
Well, they've lost B. And remember, the finances are on the line right now. They should save.
They
really don't have a right to be in this round. Sure, Mzinho gets that kill, deals with the lurk, but the round is essentially over. Those 3 kills come in, there's too many weaknesses. It looks like it's gone miserable after that missed shot to the toes. Those steel caps, extra strong for 9-10. Have to hold on to these guns right now.
There was flashes, smokes, Molotovs, and 9-10 still hits this. Look at this, let's see it from his POV. Bang, 12 HP on him. What an adjustment. And against Rain of all people. Oof.
Need to return to game for a moment. Karrigan is on the hunt for this. Remember, 1900 loss. If he takes away this AWP, collision course with 9-10
You're
now.
right.
Might be able to remove this. Bomb about to go off.
Karrigan clearing. Okay. 9-10 was holding.
Held on to the AWP. That's a big save.
That was necessary. You've already highlighted the finances and the ramifications, but 8 for FaZe. 2 consecutive.
So this next round won't be a walk in the park. They will have to work for this. Gonna have to identify where these saves reside. And AK, you know it's traditionally on the A defender, and well, that's 9-10. Right now, Mongols are thinking, call the ambulance, but not for us, because just one more round, they take us to map 2, 1 to the good. Start 9-10's AWP over towards B.
Yeah, very clear game planning going on here from Mongols.
Zinho also going to start over towards Cat, so that's both of the weapons now identified head-to-head. It's simple! Lightning fast on the opener.
He gives FaZe exactly what they needed. Round 21, a saved AWP, and he just finds it immediately.
If you get that AWP back, can keep it in play, Kit there as well. Don't forget about that, that's been scooped up. Mizinho has company through underpass and top mid.
Doesn't move from his boosted position despite that flashbang. Rain's pathing implies he's ready. Oh, so ready.
Both guns dealt with now.
Yeah, they take the head off of him, Zinho. Now don't forget there was a scavenged AWP blitz caught crossing into the site. It's Techno and it's Senzu. Now the AWP fires off a shot. Now they know it's occupied that CT position, and just piece by piece they pull it across the line. 12-9. A late resurgence, Mongols perhaps starting to waver in confidence.
Does Mara want to take that last tactical timeout now?
Here it is. Quick opener, 9-10. Just got his eye to the scope and he's down.
Yeah, those frustrations are going to start to brew.
Great clear from Rain as well. Good understanding of the possibilities.
Hit on Mizinho. This time MP9 for him. Rifles for the rest. No AWP for 9-10.
We got an aggressor, and Simple. Oh, he's missed it. He knows what's up. No scope required. He's let it go. Oh, no, a disaster for Simple. 9-10 just runs up the guts, and it looks like he's put them to bed. 9-10, the talisman of the Mongols.
What a gut punch. What a way to drop the map.
He's hamstrung him there. How do you not get into your head when you lose a round like that? And it's a round for the map. He wants to finish it with the knife. Slashing in the smoke, Carrigan goes down. Mongols take map 1.
The bigger they are, the harder they fall, and the more it means for the Mongols. This is only one map, but this is where they've struggled all season long. And on the other side of that server stands FaZe Clan. That one's in the bag.
Even with a crowd of 10,000 screaming against you, the Mongols do not crumble. That was an entertaining, that was a very chaotic, very messy game of Counter-Strike. But yeah, the Mongols surviving the first test versus FaZe, Maui.
What was most impressive is that they were able to recover from a hot start from FaZe. I mean, Kerrigan at the very beginning of that was blistering. I mean, the shots that he was hitting, the way that he was just willing FaZe into some of those rounds. But Mongols, they steadied their nerves, they were able to follow their game plan out, and that defense was impenetrable.
Yeah, it really was, and I'm with you, because when I'm watching that score and like the early go in the first 5 rounds, I'm like, oh god, this is gonna get bad. Please not again, Mongols. And then but you know, it's kind of funny, like both the in-game leaders were the ones popping off in this start. Like Blitz was leading the way for the Mongols, Kerrigan was leading the way for the FaZe. It's like those two specifically, the leadership figures, came in with their heads locked on and ready to party, and they had to kind of wait for everyone else to kind of you know, get acclimated to that sort of attitude that they needed to have. I'll say this too, he didn't end with a great scoreline, Senzu, but towards the end, he had some very impactful rounds, which is exactly what we wanted to see out of Senzu and Mongol.
100%. Just looking at the two in-game leaders side of the equation, though, it's an apt point to bring up because it's not necessarily the two individuals that we expect when we're looking on both sides of the server, right?
Without a doubt. The fact that Kerrigan was imposing himself from short, that's not something that's going to last a whole half, okay? I don't know what possessed him other than really the crowd just emboldening him, and I thought, oh no, here we go. FaZe Clan, the occult magic that is reawakening Simple is somehow rearing its head again, but yeah, things cooled off a bit. I mean, I feel like there was a regression to the mean.
I actually do expect Kerrigan to come out like that in most of these games. I feel like it's something he does frequently. I just don't expect him to be as successful with it as he was today.
Right.
A lot of times it's like this one kill here, and the next time he still has that same level of aggression and assertiveness, but it's more to create space for the guy coming behind him. Here he's just killing everyone. Blitz doing the same thing on the other side. Those two guys, the leaders, had a great start to this map.
Did you see any kind of key adaptations that the Mongols did? You know, you highlighting the impressive nature of the fact that FaZe, they had a great start. It would have been, totally understandable for the Mongols to get run over in that situation, but they didn't. Was there any kind of key turning point for you?
The keyest turning point was switching halves. I mean, I feel like that's got to be one, but we've got round 6. We've got one where really, this wasn't to me really an adaptation. It was almost just a stroke of good luck, and it also kind of preys on the deficiencies in FaZe's play in terms of teamwork, because you have a 5-on-3 advantage, and it feels like this is unlosable, that there's no chance you're going to keep Mongols in the dirt, but okay, a little bit of overpeaking from people like Elige. You know, isolated fights on the side of FaZe Clan, and that's really why we love FaZe Clan, but it's also what bites them in the butt the most often.
Yeah, and I mean, this is just a great round. I know you mentioned it, you know, at one point right before this game went live, is having some of the other guys on the team kind of bring up someone like Senzu, who struggled the most on these big stages, having guys like 910, having guys like Techno. That had to have been a sick round for Mongols. Like, when you hit those deagle shots, that changes the energy in that team immediately, and they just kind of picked up and ran with it.
That's the thing, when we switch into the second half as well, that's where Mongols really go on that just crazy streak on the CT side. You got round number 15. What was key from this one?
Just textbook play. The fact that the Mongols are able to immediately read that there is a B hit afoot, that Techno drops the key piece of utility. I don't know if he meant for this Molotov to land underneath window in the way that it did. Like, the trajectory that this bounces at seems incredibly fortunate. Like, it lands at the feet of Kerrigan there. That's actually his Molotov.
That's actually not intended whatsoever.
I don't think so, but
No.
either way, the rotation comes in. Blitz is able to quell the fight towards middle, and everybody's just rotated into position perfectly for the Mongols. Great protocols, great anchoring from Techno there on the defense too.
Yeah, and that Molotov is just the cherry on top, because I think that just missed thrown and it just went out the window and landed in the perfect place. But I mean, their defense was rock solid, and that's where I saw the most out of Senzu. Like, and I'm latching onto that because he was the guy kind of watching. It's like he's the one. It feels like, remember, he had that record-breaking or record-setting performance back in stage 3, and now you know, you're kind of scared he's going to drift away. And he was quiet to start, so you could see some of the struggles are still there. They're still not quite over everything, and especially as we said, with this crowd being so firmly behind FaZe, it makes the job of Mongols 10 times harder. But the fact that Senzu on the CT side is able to have these impactful rounds, shut down these hits, he stopped FaZe from ever getting started in the map.
I just have to raise the question, are soundproof headphones getting too good? Like, he needs to hear more of the audience there, because that was unlike what I've seen from Senzu in terms of, especially, I mean, yeah, he ends with a 13-13 scoreline, but the crispness in some of the mechanics that he displayed, especially early on that T side, like the double entry he had from short, I was like,